Hello everybody, my name's Miriam Divine. I'm a transgendered witch and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to discuss how to see auras. Now, as you can see, the camper here is pretty lightweight. You can see auras on camera as well if you really pay attention, but it's depending on who it is, it depends on where you want to see it. But we're going to train the eyes, right? Because it's not like you're just going to walk around and stare at people all day long and start seeing auras. Sure, it might happen, but we're going to do it slightly different. Let's put these tarot cards aside here. So I also do tarot readings. If you found me through my tarot readings, I do those. So auras. What is an aura? Let's start there. So last time we talked about chakras, right? And if you saw my horrible spelling, you saw that I spelled it misspelled. But it doesn't matter. I'm a horrible speller. I admit it. Okay. Done and over. We're done with that. So chakras are energy centers in your body, right? Well, everybody has an overall feel of their chakras aligning up in their bodies. And some people are very one-centered focused. Like there's a lot of, I would say, very focused, high-speed sports are very fire focused, or right here in your solar plexus focused on your chakra. And when you look at them, you'll see that they have more of a yellowish aura about them. And what that energy is, all the chakras have different colors with them. And you can, if you train your eyes good enough, see the different energy centers in the body of chakras. But it's far easier just to see the overall energy field of somebody. And that's kind of a little bit of combination of what their current mood is, what their overall energy, the thing that lies underneath of that. So you have like your nature and your demeanor and things like that that come forth. Like a really good example of this, if you see a pregnant woman, a lot of times she'll be very pink. And she's normally not pink. I mean, some of them are, but she's generally a very pinky field. If you see a very scientist type who's very up in their head all the time and they're very kind of distant, they'll have a much darker, almost like a violet or purpley chakra over their whole body. But a lot of times it's easiest to see it around the crown of their head because most people have their crowns kind of open and the stuff's just blowing out of their head, right? And that's why a lot of times you see the yogis and stuff, they wear the turban and stuff because they're protecting that explosion of energy, because it is a loss of energy. That light coming from your body, and it is a light, will emanate and come out of you, just like any energy form has a wavelength. And in chakras, in that energy field, emotional energy field, has the light. So let's get down to business. That's kind of what auras are. They are the overall feel of your energy or someone else's energy, or even an animal's or a plant's energy, right? Now, I will tell you this, if you are colorblind or color deficient, you're going to have a lot harder time with the colors of chakras, right? You're going to have to work on your eyes. You might only see just intensity, because you'll see much different intensities of people. If someone's really spiritually awakened, they'll have a lot of energy, almost like a halo. That's where the halos come from in art from the past, is too much energy in the head. So let's get a little bit more for working on your chakras. So this is easiest done in training your eyes with a friend, right? It's easiest to have a friend who's sitting. I like sitting because standing or laying or something, it's a little bit harder. Sitting in front of you, and maybe like at arm's length away. They don't have to be super far away, and you don't want them super in your face, right? You want them about an arm's length away. And the best way to do it is use a candle, right? And there's a very specific reason we use a candle. Now, you don't have to use a nice smelling little votive. You can use a regular candle. But you also want the lights very dim. Like, it's very bright in here. Now, once you've trained your eyes and you've worked on it a while, can you see chakras during the daytime? Sure. Can you see it on varying backgrounds? Sure. But it's much easier, not in total darkness, but dim darkness. I'd almost say like a twilight kind of feel, where you turn the lights off and you're just by candlelight but the candle sits right between the two of you. So if you're sitting at a table like I am, you put the candle here and somebody's sitting on the opposite side of the table of you. Now, you also kind of want a very neutral background. Like behind me, we got this huge light source coming in through the curtains. We got, lights here, and this would be a little bit harder to do, though it's natural light, which helps, but you have a lot of going on behind you. And what that does is that's going to take your concentration, your distraction. It's going to help your eyes get too distracted. The candle helps your eyes get kind of like a warmy kind of movement sensation. That's why I'd say don't just put a light there. You want the actual flicker. You want the flame to be kind of movement. And that yellow warm light of a candle actually helps quite a bit versus an LED, a bright white LED that's just sitting there doing nothing. It's going to be a lot harder than having the warm light. Now, I know a lot of us don't have a friend to work with. That's okay. You can actually do the same thing, put the candle maybe a little closer, and put a mirror. There's mirrors all over this RV. Put a mirror at about that arm's length away. And what that's going to do is you're going to work on see your own aura energy field. It's a little bit harder because you don't get the instant feedback of your friends, laughing and giggling at you that, oh my God, this is funny. But, oh, excuse me, I got over a cold recently. So, now, as far as the mirror, you don't want lights on it, of course. If you can, which this is a really tough request, right? If you don't have a friend, having this request is going to be even harder. But the mirror you want is an actual mirror made back in the 1800s before they mass-produced mirrors like they do today. They were made with a mercury over top of like a chromium or something. I can't remember exactly what the composition of those mirrors were. But the mirrors themselves, because of they were handcrafted and done, they created just a little teeny bit of imperfection. And that softness of imperfection really helps the eyes see more of you. If you ever looked at yourself in one of those mirrors, I know a lot of times they're very old and they're faded on the sides and stuff, but you look different in those mirrors. It's not such a harsh mirror coming back at you. So, if you can't, a regular mirror will be just fine. If you want to go the mirror route, if not, go with a friend. So you dim the lights, and it's kind of funny, but you look at each other, right? You look at your reflection in the mirror, and what you want to do is about somewhere maybe 6 inches to a foot. You'll have to adjust your eyes and work on them a little bit with the focus, but you want to look slightly past whatever subject matter you're looking at. If it's the other person, you want to look slightly past them. It's almost similar to the focus that the Native Americans get with the soft eyes when they're walking through the woods, except for they see much further away when they walk through the woods versus just that 6 inches. You'll still see the person, but you'll see that focus slightly behind, and you're kind of looking around the edges because it's a lot harder to see right in front of their nose, but you look around the sides where you have this, neutral background and stuff. And what that will do is it will let the eyes almost relax into this just seeing of the aura field. Now, almost everybody could probably see them when you're little babies and you don't remember, but over time, the eye gets trained to not see those things. And in this modern age, it's even harder because of the camera technology, how crisp it is, because of the mirrors, because of everything. Really, you only see you in the reflection of mirrors. You don't really see you how other people see you. They see you much softer and a more rounded individual than you will ever see yourself in a mirror, just because that mirror has such a harsh reflection. That's a different lesson. So you get down, you sit there, and you look into the mirror, or you look into your, slightly past the subject, and you relax your mind. You try to not have endless thoughts like, oh, did I do my bills today? Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, forget all that stuff. I gotta go. I gotta go to the bathroom, right? Forget all that stuff. Just calm your mind, and we'll do another practice where we talk about the breathing and single point focuses and stuff where you get to that point where your brain just kind of relaxes into nothing. But for this exercise, boy, stop the thought pattern and just stare. And I'm kind of staring over here, but I guess I could be staring over here, right? So I'll give you maybe, I don't know, a few seconds. You can look and see if you can see my aura. And if you can, some of you are probably much more practiced or their eyes are more adjusted to this kind of thing. If you do see my aura, then let me know what color it is in the comments below, and we'll go from there. So that's what I have for aura seeings, and it's not going to happen, in like 2 seconds, by the way. Probably take longer than the space of this video. You might be sitting there for 30 minutes, an hour, right before you get to that point. And that's what I'm saying. You might be giggling at your partner or something, and you really do want to spend some time. You don't want to do an hour 60 different times, 1 minute at a time. You want to do a good solid maybe 15, 20 minutes, maybe even that hour, all in one sitting. And this is great for around campfires, if you like to sit around campfires with, do hot dogs and stuff kind of at night. This really goes in, with that kind of stuff. And of course, once you see auras, you can start working on seeing the auras of other things, such as animals, plants. I love to sit out in the backyard and just look at the trees and look at their auras and how they are, because they have very specific aura. And the nice, easy blue sky behind them is like great for seeing auras, because it's that neutral background again. And that's what I have for you today. I love you all. Have a wonderful evening. And if you have any more questions about auras or some other topic you might want to see, just let me know in the comments below. And of course, like and subscribe if you want to see more of my content. Bye.